What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. I know that it's been some time since I last was on to vlog or blog. The hubby had to have a procedure done, and I needed to make sure my man was good, that he was straight, and so he's doing well, and I'm back. I wanted to do a vlog today on a repost or a thought that I reposted on my Instagram page for the website at ComplexSimplicity09 earlier in the week, and it was about toxic people, but more so coming from the angle of you or I at times can be that toxic person. You know, it's very easy to, point the fingers at everybody else around us in our lives who may in fact have toxic behavioral tendencies, but there also are times in life where we may actually be the toxic person in the situation. And I know one thing with me that I've strategically practiced for a lot of my life, teenagehood up until now, is to always put the mirror up and look at myself first. So any conflict or any suspect or funny style situation that I've ever been in with another person, I more so look at me to see, what did you do to contribute to this? Did you possibly egg this on? Were you the catalyst? Were you the trigger? Did you play yourself? Were you shady? Did you not have good intentions? I like to make a practice of asking myself those difficult questions before I'm even able to start assessing the other person and the part they played in whatever uncomfortable or conflictual situation we both might have been in with one another. And I really liked this thought that you will see if you're watching this video clip from the website. You'll see this thought above this video clip, and unfortunately if you're watching this video on YouTube, you ain't gonna see no quotes. This is why I always say go to ComplexSimplicity.com. This way you can see the fullness of these video clips. A lot of times there are thoughts that are above it, which makes things come full circle a little more. And there are other cool things going on a website. I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there, people who just love YouTube, but please go to ComplexSimplicity.com to get all the cool stuff in addition to these video clips. I know there are a few iPhone 6 users who may say they have issues loading certain parts of the website, but really it's only two parts of the website that you'll have issues loading, and that is the music lover section and audio recordings and vlogs, which is why I now have a more music for you section, because I use a different template so it will load on your computers and your phones accordingly. And this is why I also have more audio recordings, or another section of audio recordings that has a different format so that it will load. So sorry to kind of take a detour and go left, but just so you know, this is a pretty long thought that you will see above this video clip if you're viewing it from the website. So yes, there are times when we are the toxic person. We may be the jealous person, the envious person, the person that doesn't have the best of intentions, the person that may be wishing others ill will, and the list goes on. None of us are perfect. I always say perfection is unachievable, unattainable, and flat out boring. But none of us are perfect. We all play a role and have these moments. I've had jealous moments in my life. I've had, moments where I might not have wholeheartedly wanted someone who might have been to the right or the left of me to do extremely well in life. And when I found that I was experiencing these human emotions, I definitely had a talk with myself and had to kind of get myself together with that, because at the end of the day, that's toxic behavior, right? So we've all probably been guilty of this one point or another in our lives. And then unfortunately, there's some of us who are habitually guilty of this. And this vlog may be more for you, or to help you, for those who kind of often struggle with being toxic, right? Misery loves company. We know all these many mantras. I've discussed a lot of these topics on the website before. And so I just like that it comes from an angle, this thought comes from an angle of us looking at us first, us realizing, oh, I might have been toxic in this situation, I might have been glad that my girlfriend this relationship is not going well for her. Why? Because I ain't got no man or I ain't got no woman and I'm feeling some kind of way. I want everybody to kind of be in the same boat with me. Or I've even experienced where, you know, someone may have the blessing of having a child, but things may not go the best way for them through that situation. Or motherhood, parenthood is real, it's hard, it's a challenge, right? A challenge that humans are not always up for every day the way that they need to be up for it. And, you know, I've had a lot of friends, you know, and people just in general that I know really trying to push on me to have babies, have kids, go, 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 you know, knowing that I've only been married for 3 minutes. 3 minutes means 3 years. I've only been married for a little bit of time. I've had someone push me so hard in the baby making direction after I'd only been married for months, you know, and that could have been with the many people who I faced this with, that maybe they were conflicted in their own situations, or maybe they weren't as happy as they made it seem in their own parenting journeys, or maybe they're like, I'm not living my happiest, best life. I don't want anyone else to, you know? There are times where we can be that toxic person if we're not careful. And I think that it is so very important for us to actually take the time out and say, freeze, pause, let me see. Is it me? You know, especially if we recognize or we feel as if drama is always around us, it's always swarming us, it's always around us, you know. Are we playing a part in this? Are we magnetic to the drama? Are we low-key miserable and kind of feed off of the negative vibes and energy and the juiciness of drama, even if it doesn't concern us? It could be the drama regarding someone else in their situation or another group of people, right? But do we take pleasure in other people's struggles and challenges and hard times in life and sad moments, frustrated moments, you know? And so, yes, sometimes we can be that toxic person. We can display that toxic behavior. And it's a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous territory to dwell in. I get it. We all have human moments. We all might have been and may continue to be privy to slightly have these moments. But I know for me, as soon as I kind of feel it trying to creep up on me, I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. Get away. Get off me, Satan, right? Like, I'm not feeling that. So, you know, I think that it's just important for us to constantly have those self-check-ins, right? Especially if we're feeling uncomfortable in a certain situation, or something amazing is happening for someone that you know and care about, and you know that you should really give love, show love, and it's like hard for you to do, or that person that's getting married, or that person who's killing it with their career, or that person who's just ultimately growing within themselves, and it's like, oh, how can I mess this up? You know, like that thing there, right? So let's try to really figure that out. A lot of times, if we are feeling like that, or if one is feeling that way, there's something quite not going that right within yourself or within your life, and that area, that whatever that is, should be figured out. And that, as I always say, it should be figured out very quickly, because it's a very dangerous and slippery slope to be on when it comes to toxicity. So I kind of wanted to just share a few thoughts about that. And now I'm going to segue into another thought that's kind of been on my mind. You know, I've been watching The Force. I've given up with all of these like music competition, finding the star, find the artist shows. But as I shared maybe a vlog ago, I started watching it because someone I knew was actually on the show, was a contestant. And even though he's no longer on the show for now, for all we know, he could come back, I've still been kind of sticking with the show because it's an interesting concept. And what happened this past Thursday? What was that? The 18th was crazy, but it's something that I always felt and have seen before, right? And that pretty much is this. I forget names. I'm bad with the names, but there was this young lady on the show who killed it. She stole the Australian dude's seat 2 weeks ago, right? And she has a beautiful voice. I'm someone who used to frequent the Village Underground. For all my East Coasters, particularly tri-state area people, you know that was in the West Village of Manhattan and has been known to be the place to be if you are into music, if you're a musician, if you're a singer. Like a lot of my, me and my college friends used to frequent the Village Underground, and there's a certain caliber of singing that goes on there, right? You can't go there and not bring it. You can't go there and honestly not have pretty good vocal ability and execution, right? And so this young lady reminds me of the types of singers I would always listen to when I went to the Village Underground, those cool voices that have range, that has volume, that has versatility, flexibility, the list goes on. Like, she can sing her face off, and she clearly, got that seat for a reason. Now, what I will say is this, because she got knocked out of her seat from an 18-year-old boy who has a voice that tends to have the quality of like a Michael Jackson in his prime when he was young, certain kind of vibrato, that mic thing he had, softness to his voice, and he knocks her out of her seat. Technically, if I'm being honest, she is the better singer. But I think what a lot of people tend to forget in the music artistry game is this. It is not the best singer that gets the record deal. It is not the best singer that wins the singing competition all the time. It is not the best whoever in whatever you're trying to do that becomes successful. And I think if we start to get that and have that register and marinate within our minds, a lot of us probably would either potentially go farther in life, maybe have more confidence and gall to do certain things, as well as not be as upset and disappointed when things don't go our way. And so, I knew it was going to happen. My husband and I were watching the show, and I was like, it'd be crazy, but he just might get her seat. And he did. With the 4, in order for a contestant to challenge one of the 4 that already have a seat, the judges have to agree to that. But once the challenge goes down, it's the audience, aka the fans, who then decide who gets the seat. Because in real life, for all of these musical artists out here, actors, actresses, whatever it is that you do in entertainment, it is the fans, your followers, who kind of determine your fate with certain things. If you're gonna make it, if you're gonna last, if you're gonna have longevity. Of course, these artists work hard, they have talents, whatever, but really it's the fans that keep them in their seats, so to speak. And so we've got to get out of the mindset of thinking you have to be the best singer to go on these shows. You have to be the best singer to get a record deal. You have to be the best singer to make it in the music industry. That is the farthest thing from the truth, in my opinion. Most record labels, even people on this show, the judges, the producers, they want the next best thing, the next big star, the next artist. And I think a lot of us who are really into music and who are really into the craft of singing and the art of singing and musicality and musicianship, I think sometimes we tend to not realize that being an artist that can sell many units, get so many different download streams, is different than being this amazing singer. There are many amazing singers that we know that necessarily aren't in the $20-30 million club, winning all these Grammys up the wazoo, you know what I'm saying, getting all these accolades. They're artists who, and I'll say like a Rihanna, and there's no shade to Rihanna, I think that she has amazing tonal quality to her voice that stands out to the point where when you hear the first 2 bars, you're like, that's Rihanna, right? She has this quality about her voice that is cool, that is edgy, that goes well with the type of music she does. But if we're keeping it 100, Rihanna is not the best of singers. She's a decent singer. She's not a J Hud. She's not a Fantasia. She's not a Lettucey. She's not some of the singers who we know can sing you into the ground, right? She's a decent voice, but she's a true artist. She probably is more of an artist as far as she has like this undeniable brand. Aside from the makeup and stuff she just started, she just has this undeniable brand to her. Between her edginess, she's an influencer. She's who these girls are looking up to. Everybody wants that Rihanna edge and sex appeal. So she comes with a whole situation that can be packaged well enough to sell millions upon millions of records, right? Anything that she puts her hands on, if it's Puma Fenty or Fenty Puma, however she calls it, if it now is her Fenty Beauty, anything she puts her hands to, the world stops in some way, right? Because she has this whole other aura to her that goes along with being an artist. So being an artist is so much more than you just singing. It's your presence. It's your judge. It's what makes you different, what makes you you. And I think this young lady who can sing her face off, who got knocked out of her chair from this 18-year-old quirky young man who doesn't nearly have the level of singing talent and ability that she has. The difference is when he hit the stage, you're like, this guy is so different. He's an artist. There's something about him. We can make money. I tell you, I think Diddy, Meghan Trainor, I think his name is Charlie, and Khaled saw dollar signs when that young man hit the stage. Even though they didn't have the final say-so as to if he got that seat, they even already knew there's something about this guy that's different. And he might have had half of the singing talent that this young lady had, but he got her seat. Why? Because for them, they're like, we could market him as this kind of artist. It's all of that. And this young lady, she had stated when she first got onto the show that she had a record deal and they kind of shelved her and it fell through. And so she's uber talented, beautiful woman. But to be honest with you, when she would perform, I was sitting in my living room thinking, but there are thousands of girls that can do that. What is going to make her stand out as an artist, right? Many people can do that. There are a lot of women that can sing their face off, that can do all kinds of different vocal acrobats, that have nice tone. That's like $1 or a dime a dozen, right? And nothing against her. But she's going to even find that she may have to figure out what her thing is, who she is as far as an artist, that will stand out in a different way, right? That'll catch the attention beyond, yes, you can sing, you should be over there, but what's going to keep you in that seat is you got to figure out who you are musically and what that looks like, what that is, what sets you apart, and what's going to make you different. I say this to myself all the time as I'm continuously recording for this EP, you know, and I'm glad that my brother keeps telling me, no, it's unique, it's different, right? Because I don't want my music to sound like everyone else's. I don't want my music to sound like what you were hearing on the radio, which is still trap music and mumble rap and, you know, I want it to be something different. I already know my message is different, so that's cool. That will set me apart in some way. But as far as the artistry, as far as the musicality, as far as how I'm singing certain things, I want that to be different. I'm doing me. I'm staying in my lane of what Chanel does. I've gotten to know a lot more of who I am vocally, which I've expressed in the previous vlog. But I just want to make sure that whatever body of work I'm going to submit and release to the world, it's different, it's unique, and it's that there's a sense of artistry there. It's not about being the best singer, y'all. I can sing, you know, I like my voice, I'm comfortable in my voice. Of course, I still want to grow, but I'm a different kind of voice. I'm not the voice that's going to be like, and yeah, and all that. That's not me, and that's fine for those who are like that. I'm more of a laid back, smooth, jazzy R&B girl with a twist, you know, and I'm trying to create my own lane, even musically, you know, and do something a little bit different. My songwriting is probably different, And not that I'm trying to make it be different, but just I'm who I am. So, how I may paint a picture on certain experiences I've had or certain experiences people around me have had, you paint the picture how you paint the picture. No one else can do what you do. I can't do what other people do. And so, just trying to continue to make sure that there's a stamp of uniqueness, individuality, and even my art. And I just wanted to encourage those out there who may have dreams of being in the music world, industry, whatever, those who want to be in the entertainment world as a whole, because this even goes for the acting, those who want to act, this goes for those in the beauty makeup world, this goes for those who may want to be in the podcast, radio show world, those like me who one day may want to be in the talk show world, whatever it is, just know it's not always the best that gets the job. I think we're always trying to seek this perfection and all of that, thinking that that's going to seal the deal. I always like to use Cardi B as an example. Cardi B got to where she is because she's true to who she is, she's being herself, and she has an amazing personality that's infectious, right? So we all have different things about us that can reel people in. It's just figuring out and determining what that is about you. We all know Cardi B is not the best, rapper out there, the best MC out there. And even if we want to now narrow it down into the femcs, meaning the female MC lane, we all know she's not the best female MC. But what has gotten her farther than a lot of people who have been in this game and people who've been trying to really get into this game, I think, is the fact that she has that artist ability. She has that, as they say, that je ne sais quoi, that thing about her that will have a huge influence, that already has a huge influence. She has a big following because she's being who she is, right? Her personality, her life experiences, what she decides to rap about, what beats she's rapping to, like all of that. And I think a majority of it really is just her personality. She is who she is. And it's refreshing for a lot of people these days because many are still out here trying to be like everybody else, which is why I got a song on my EP, if all goes well, that's called Be Free. You need to be, hey, oh so free, because it's like I feel everybody wants to be like everyone else. The song starts off with, everywhere I go I see no one really wants to be free. It's like we'd rather be you than me. What's we? Like, why is it that none of us want to be ourselves, or most of us don't want to be ourselves? We always want to be like this one, like this one, like this one. But let me tell you, when you are yourself, you see what's been happening with Miss Cardi B, doors can open for you. Now, there's the other side of things that I won't get into that I feel like have also contributed to the level of success that she has achieved. That's more along, I would say, the dark side of Hollywood, but just my own opinion that I will keep to myself. But aside from that, the girl works hard, and I do believe that her just embracing and not sacrificing who she is and where she's come from, that has helped her to get to where she is. So I say all that to say this. It's not about being the best. I think a lot of us focus on being the best. Let's focus on being our best, and at the same time know that whatever industry, career field, whatever it is you're trying to do or break into, even for my people, my fellow Christians in church, certain ministries you may want to get into, it's not all about, oh, dang, I'm probably not gonna be able to make the choir, or I'm not gonna be able to be the worship leader, or I'm not gonna be able to do these things because this person seems like they have more talents and giftings in that area. It's not always about that. Yes, we do need to have a certain measure of talent and ability. I get that. Very true. But sometimes it could be your personality that gets you that opportunity because you're easy to work with. Sometimes it could be the fact that there's just something about you that draws people. Sometimes it could just be the fact, for those who are trying to break into the music industry, that we see dollar signs when we see Chanel. So even though Chanel may not be able to sing this person down the ground, or to the ground, they may be a better singer than she is, there's still something about her that grabs and reaches people, and we want to put our investment in her because we see the artist of what she can be, and we see the artist that she currently is. So it's thinking along those lines and in those terms as well. Like I said before, talent is an amazing and great thing to have. We all have talents and abilities, but that's not always what's going to solidify us reaping the blessings and whatever level of success that we're trying to achieve. It's more to it than that. Discipline, work ethic, the many things I've been talking a lot about lately, and also just overall, whatever it is about you that makes you you and unique and great and beautiful and inspiring and empowering and vulnerable and relatable, whatever those things are, half the time, in addition to what your abilities are, is what is going to get you through the door, and the hard work wrapped around all of that. And of course, because I'm a Christian, I also believe the doors that God may allow, what he may have for you to open, so to speak. And so, let's not be discouraged. Let's instead be encouraged and know that, it's not about being the best, and the best person may not always get the job. It's about being yourself, being your best, working as hard as you can, having a certain level of diligence and great work ethic, and still honing in on whatever your talents and skill sets are to make sure that they're getting better, stronger, and sharper. All of those things accompanied with that one upstairs, that man upstairs, my God, Jesus Christ, I believe is what will get us to that place and that point that we wish to be. So please be encouraged by that. And let's also just remember to look at ourselves first when we're in uncomfortable situations with others, or even just if we feel like, ooh, I don't like how that feels. I'm a little toxic right now. Why am I acting like this? Why am I spewing this? Why am I not handling things the way I normally would or should? Am I the issue? I think my behavior is slightly toxic. Let's start trying to really figure that out and make things right so that we are not out here, it's almost like having an aerosol can that's full of toxic poisons and fumes, and everywhere we go, we're all over the place, and it's affecting the people around us, right? It's affecting people who are kind of around, I guess, within our area, and it's not cool, right? It's not cool. Let's try to figure that out and stop spraying our toxicity all over the place and trying to make everybody else infected and miserable and sick. These are harmful fumes. Let's not do that. Let's try to defume ourselves, if that's a word or saying, and cleanse ourselves, purge ourselves of that toxicity. This way we can be the best people we can be, okay? Continue to rock with your girl by going to complexsimplicity.com, and have a great week, and until next time.